What's up y'all, my name is Desert Bloom Sims or Elias, and welcome back to my channel. And before we start today's video, I just want to ask that you show some support to the channel. You can leave a like, you could comment, or you can even subscribe if you like the video. So today we're giving another makeover to one of my older Sims, and I wanted to do this again because I had a lot of fun in the last one that I did. And like I probably said in the last video, I do want to make this a series, so here I am continuing such. But the next video after this one will probably be like maybe a townie makeover or something. I kind of want to do the goth household, but at the same time I kind of always have trouble whenever I try and revamp them, and I've revamped them like 2 to 3 times over the course of my whole, I guess, Sims journey of making Sims and whatnot, or I guess just playing Sims in general. But yes, I do think that making over the goth household would be kind of a fun thing to do. And as I said before, I have done it a few times before, but I mean the more current ones that I did are a little bit better. But at the same time, I just want to kind of start over from scratch, because usually what I did in my other makeovers was I just took the older goth household that shipped with the game when it first came out. I just took them and did some little shifting with the features and skin tones, etc. And yeah, I went on from there. But in the next makeover that I might give them, I might just completely reimagine them. So it'll be more of a townie reimagination instead of a makeover. But, you know, potato potato, if you ask me. I really don't gaff for real, but yeah. I guess my whole thing with making over the goths, and I guess what the issue is that I want to make them more akin to their ethnic backgrounds. So for example, their last name Goth is an actual last name, and it's not just a play on the fact that they're like a quote-unquote gothic family with like, I guess, a more dark, eerie vibe, or whatever the game was trying to go for. Because babes, these new goths are not it. No shade. Yes, if you didn't know, Goth is an actual last name. I do think that it's either French or German. The only person that I've ever known with the last name Goth is Mia Goth. She played in films like herrr and X. I absolutely love those films, even though I've never watched them a day in my life. But I do quote her character Pearl like pretty much all the time. Like, yes, I'm married. Howard, I'm very much happy that you're on, babes, okay? All jokes aside, I do want to take making these Sims serious. So I am going to be doing my research when I do reimagine them. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, because I know y'all probably had enough of that tangent. It's over now, by the way. I am going to tell you a little bit about this Sim that I'm reworking. Her name is Chelsea Walton. Her original name was Chelsea Lily Walton, but I guess we could just say that Lily's a second name or like a middle name or something, because when I saw that I was like, question mark? Anyway, the vibe that I decided to go for with Chelsea was, I guess, coquette meets academia or light academia, something like that. Her vibe is quiet girl who sits in a library reading books all day long, who's a little bit more closed off from people, but deep down she longs for connection, maybe true love, something like that. I feel like I need to start fully fleshing out my Sims whenever I make them, or whenever I recreate them, to know what I want to do with them, you know? Ultimately, I'm going to end up adding all my original Sims in a save file, because I am working on a save file. It's like more so of a personal save file, but I'm doing builds, I'm making new townies and stuff, giving them backstories and, you know, ongoing stories and whatnot. And I think it's a really cool and fun concept and or process, but it takes a very long time, so please don't expect anything super soon. But I guess I'm just saying and, you know, putting it out there, because I mean, I don't really have anything to talk about for real, so yeah. But yes, to recap, the vibes that I'm going for with Chelsea is quiet girl who longs for connection with people but is too shy, so she just buries herself in books and whatnot. It's kind of giving like Moon Dancer, you know, Twilight Sparkle before she moved from Camelot. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of My Little Pony, I might also start a series where I reimagine cartoon characters in The Sims, and I do want to start with either My Little Pony or like maybe Miraculous. I've had this idea for like a while now, and I actually do want to execute it eventually, so expect that as well. I'm sitting here thinking, who am I talking to exactly? But at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? I'm actually starting to build, not necessarily a fan base, but I'm starting to build a group of people who watch my videos, who like my videos, who comment here and there. And I absolutely appreciate you guys. And I love when people support me because that makes me feel seen, and it makes me feel validated, and it makes me feel like my channel and my content is actually going to get somewhere, and it's going to get out to the right people because it's reaching people in general. And I feel like I talk about this topic pretty much all the time on all of my videos of late, but I mean, as you all know by now probably, I do my videos impromptu, so I talk about whatever comes on my mind. I do appreciate you all who watch my videos whenever I do come out with them, and I appreciate any new people who comment and, you know, just say, oh, I like the video, you know, you're very funny, or, you know, whatever people might say, and it makes me feel a bit more secure in myself and in my content. Sob story aside, I do want to tell y'all that I'm going to be starting a Tumblr very soon, and I'm mostly doing it on my own whim and or accord because I just want to, you know, post my Sims elsewhere, you know, other than TikTok or YouTube. And I don't even post on my TikTok anymore, to be honest. I will start planning out some content soon, so expect to see some more TikTok videos if you are following my TikTok. I feel like I've said expect to see yada 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 like 3 times in this video by now, so please excuse that. I'm low-key out of my mind right now while I'm doing this commentary at like 11 o'clock at night. That's like a really bad habit of mine. I do editing and commentary for my videos like pretty much a day before I post them, which is, I guess, like self-sabotage on my end because I'm always like, oh yeah, I need to do this, but then I keep prolonging it and so on and so forth, and I end up just doing it a day before. I do stuff like that with my school assignments, with stuff in my personal life. It's a very bad habit, but I feel like most people can relate to, I guess, the concept of procrastination because, I don't know, I just feel like it's a natural thing to, you know, put off whatever you have to do sometimes. In fact, I do believe that procrastination has a whole entire psychology behind it, and I find it really fascinating because, I don't know, like, it's just a concept of psychology on its own that's fascinating to me. I feel like psychology is a very great way to better understand humans and how we act and how we interact with each other and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know how this video turned into an educational type beat, but here we are. So I believe that psychology and sociology go hand in hand, and I know that they do because I'm taking a sociology class right now for college, and they are synonymous with each other, and they pretty much can go hand in hand because psychology is the study of the human mind and sociology is the study of human behaviors within society. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably already know this, but I don't know, I just felt like saying that, so there's that. I don't know why, but sometimes it feels so good to geek out about stuff sometimes, even if it's just like about the most basic thing ever that probably everybody and their mama know about. But like, I don't know, I feel like geeking out, that probably sounds so wrong. Y'all probably think I'm talking about vaping. Let me hang it up. This is kind of a funny topic to talk about, but pretty much everything that I've talked about so far is a funny topic, so anyway, I just wanted to talk about the pressure that's, I guess, being put on children nowadays about, I guess, their future. I'm pretty sure everybody's been asked as a child what they want to be when they grow up, and nobody ever really, you know, thinks about this as, you know, being a bad thing, and I don't think it necessarily is either. But when we get older, people are still asking us what we want to be when we grow up. And there's this pressure being put on us to go to college or to work a trade or do this or do that. And I feel like there's not enough people talking about this subject. And it's just like, you know, And don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with wanting the next generation to, I'm trying to find the word, to blossom and, to be successful. But I feel like figuring out where you want to be in life is a very fluid thing, and it's something that's going to change over time. And I'm pretty sure I talked about this in my last video as well. But, your career, your job, and what you do for the rest of your life isn't something that's necessarily stationary, and it can obviously change over time. The point that I'm trying to make is that I feel like there's a lot of pressure being put on the newer generations to be something in life because the older generations don't want to see us fail, because there's like a stark decline in a lot of different things with the newer generations. Like, I think childbirth is declining, and I don't know, other stuff, but yeah. If any of you watching feel differently about this topic, I would love to know your stance, and you can leave a comment if you want. And notice how absolutely nobody asked for my opinion, but I still went on this tyrannical rampage about whatever I was talking about. I mean, I'm not going to bash myself for being a little bit passionate about whatever I talk about, because that's just who I am. Miscellaneous topics aside, I want to thank those of you who have watched throughout the entire video. The video is coming to an end, by the way, so if you like the video, consider leaving a like if you haven't already, and you can maybe leave a comment saying, oh, I liked the video, or your thoughts on the pressure on youth today was very thought-provoking, and something like that. So here is the final look at Chelsea Walton. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Do you think you could look straight into the webcam and say Dua Lipa is the greatest pop star in history for me, please?
I would never say that.
Jacket! Whatever happened to fun?
T. Hi, Kayla!
Oh,